Hello everyone, it's Mike from Roxbox90 here, back with another video. This one is about the doubling season of Double Masters, because we're approaching Double Master official spoiler season, and I wanted to make sure we can dive in and give you my take well ahead of time. Hopefully you can get a sense of where I'm speculating and my thoughts about the set and where we're going to be going with it. So the first thing I heard when I thought Double Masters, I'm like, wow, Double Masters means what? Well, it means two announcements, which is what we got. We got an announcing Double Masters and an also announcing Double Masters, which was kind of clever, even if the article was really silly how it's written. I thought, aha, this is two rares, two foils, too powerful. And what does it do? Each of the articles has a different preview on it, so nice. Kudos to Wizards for that. But at the same time, like, aha, Double Masters means we're gonna have what? 2 times the foils, 2 times the rares, 2 times the price? Or how about 2 times double the price? I don't know. I knew that this was going to be an expensive set, and that means we're going to get 2 times the number of fetch lands that we've had in prior master sets, right, Wizards? That's what we're going to do. We're going to get 2 times that number. Okay, yeah. All right, no fetches in this product, but I do think they're going to be coming in Zendikar land. We're going to be seeing some more fetch land information. Let's just talk about Double Masters to try and keep the video within a reasonable length of time, given that I have a lot of stuff to talk about. For one thing, it's being released in August, which is summertime, and typically that's EDH season in terms of there's somewhat of a gap between products. Usually get the core set as the final product. Before then, we might have a Commander product in August, and then we'll have the new product We'll have the new set coming out in September for the fall. This year with COVID, it's all kind of thrown out the window, and we'll get Double Masters instead. Now it has 332 cards in it, which is a pretty big set, a usually big set, but you still only have 24 packs per booster box, 15 card booster packs, 2 rares, 2 foils per pack, and 2 non-foil borderless showcase box topper cards included in each booster box. So the prices I've seen for this online vary anywhere from $270 to $400 plus, which puts it in line with Ultimate Masters, and therefore this has got to have good cards, right? So let's see what we got so far. Right now we have, these are the current spoilers. We got Doubling Season, we have Steel Colossus, it still has some cool box topper art, and then we got Atraxa, because doubling could mean anything, and we'll get to the definition of what Double Masters could mean. Based on these, we got literal Doubling Season, double, one of the most iconic double cards in the game. We got Blightsteel with its 11/11, 11/11. We have Atraxa, which proliferates, which means you put additional counters on, so you technically double a counter on it. And then we got Mana Crypt, which produces 2 mana, and then we have Coil the Vast, which puts another creature into play. So double could mean really anything for this set, given the variety of double that we have already spoiled, let alone what else there is. So here's my initial thoughts. For one thing, is it possible that we're going to get new art for cards? Given that we have some new art already here, most likely that's one of the ways to sell a premium product. We got Mana Crypt, Atraxa, all these new arts. Yes, these are box topper style arts, but that doesn't mean we couldn't have a new art in the set. Why do I think that? 2 years ago, there was a spoiler on Planeswalker Art, and most of them have actually come into fruition and they're real or have seen already print in cards. The one that hasn't is this Karn one over here, which is really stunning, really stands out. It's a gorgeous art piece. It's really the only one, I think, in this list that hasn't seen print yet. So I'm curious, it might have just been shelved and that's that, but if we're gonna get a new Karn art, I don't know which Karn it would be exactly, but if we're gonna get a new Karn art, I think it would be, it could be this one, which would be really cool. In terms of doubling, because it could mean anything, well, we're not having fetch lands. Well, what does that mean? We could have filter lands, because that's the only other land that I could think of outside of shock lands, which just were printed, that would have a double effect. So in this case, you put 1 in, you get 2 mana back. And they're not super expensive anymore, but they are still a little costly given that they're used in lots of commander decks. So I wouldn't be surprised to see these as the double lands cycle that we're going to get for this set. And now we have a whole slew of cards, and I'll give you my reasoning why they would be in this set. Doubling Cube. Seems pretty obvious, doesn't it? Got doubling in the name, doubles your mana. Rings of Brightheart lets you use 2 mana to copy an ability. Now, technically, anything could be copied. You could have any kind of twin cast, you could have any kind of copy spell, but I chose Wings of Brightheart, I think, is the most likely option because the price point is really high, and you'll notice that a trend. There's a lot of these cards on the list I selected, not just because there's a doubling nature to it, or double nature of it, but also that it has a higher price point. How about Wormcoil Engine? Make 2 tokens. Worm Coil also, not a super cheap card, only seen a couple of printings, and I think it could use another one. Parallel Lives, this is a cycle. Really, any card like Doubling Season could be in the set. I would not be surprised if they do one at Mythic, Doubling Season, and then one at Rare. If they're going to have anything in the draft capacity of the set, you're going to have anything reasonable that way, you would want to have 2 of the effect. And also because why not take the chance to get these expensive Commander cards, get another one out there that is already at a rare rarity. So Parallel Lives or Primal Figure or Anointed Procession, all of those could easily be in this. All of those and or one of those could be in the set in addition to Doubling Season. I would not be surprised. How about lands? Besides for the filter lands, we also have lands that double. Now I think Cabal Coffers at Uncommon historically is the best option. It is extremely expensive just due to its limited print nature and the fact that it's used all over the place in Commander. Its head, it could be in this set, it could be in Commander Legends. I'm pretty sure we're going to see something with it this year. We did not see Nykthos for Theros, which is very weird that it wasn't in the last Theros block, because it's the card for Devotion and it's the card if Wizards wants to get it out there in more people's hands. This is the year when Theros was printed, so Theros Beyond Death is printed. Why not have, if Nykthos is not going to be in that set, they don't want it in Standard, why not have it in a set like this? Similarly, any mana doubling effect, it could be Mirari's Wake, although that price point is still within reason, given it did have some reprints, but Mana Reflection has never been reprinted ever, and it's creeping up into ridiculous realm. It could be in Commander Legends. It could also be in their green Commander product coming out. They could put a card like this, which is just due to the limit of the print run and one kind of it out there, could easily show its head in this set. Now, a card that lots of people have been speculating about is Splinter Twin, because Splinter Twin makes another creature, makes a copy, and if Wizards considers unbanning it in Modern to try to kickstart the format a bit, it's really been struggling, then Splinter Twin putting in this set would be a way to do it. You unban it, you put this in the set. It's an easy way to offset some of the pain points of having Splinter Twin come back and not have more supply. How about partners? I'm looking very determined at Thrasios and Tymna, but really any of the partners are starting to become more expensive. And I would say that the most likely pair, either just due to price, you have Thrasios and Tymna as the partners. Those, I think, are just the high-priced ones, but you could easily have something like Vile Smasher the Fierce, which has never had a non-foil printing. This would be a way to get him out there. And then, of course, Pier and his buddy Toothy, the two of them have been slowly creeping up in price, and they also deal with counters, and they also deal with doubling effects. So, if anything, at Rare, this is a good option, I think, for it to be in the set. I did see someone mention out there Urza lands somewhere on Reddit at one point. I have mixed feelings about those because they do actually increase to 3 for the other 2 Urza. The only one that does for 2 is Urza's Mine, which means, yeah, they might be in the set because you could say you put them together and they create a bigger effect. Double the awesome. I don't know. I'm not sure if they would be in the set, but I see it could be possible. What about cards that make you lose 2 life? Thoughtseize, for example, would be nice to see a reprint for that. It did not happen in Theros. Again, I think Standard they wanted to keep it away from, but here we go. Could easily be in this set. It was an Iconic Masters. How about Vampiric Tutor? It was an Eternal Masters, and this one also you lose 2 life. So and technically it costs 1, 2 life, so 1, 2, whatever. Stupid double nature, but the point is that I think Vampiric Tutor, if we're looking for higher price cards to try to offset the very high price point and also to get people to buy into a product that's off or out of season, this would be one of the cards to do it. How about Karn Liberated? You would look at me and say, Mike, what are you talking about? Karn Liberated? There's nothing to about this card. Well, how about you restart and play a second game? What do you think? What do you think? The logic's there? All right, well, Karn Liberated could easily be in the set. He seems to be one of the poster boys of master sets in general. Fatal Push. We got a lot of 2s. We got 2, and we got 2 times 2 equals 4. Somebody would be laughing about this if the card's in the set, but it is one of the more played uncommons that are out there and has a nice price point. How about Cryptic Command? You choose 2 effects, and we haven't had a reprint of it in a while. Iconic Masters was the last time we had it, and it had very different artwork than the historical artworks. How about Walking Ballista? with its XX cost. You got 2 times X. And this card recently spiked. Thank you, Pioneer. It's print. Same thing with Chalice of the Void. We do have more than one printing, but it also is very expensive. At Renin 6, which has been crazy expensive. Thank you for taking all the value out of Modern Horizons and making so much goodness cheap, but you also are very expensive. And you are a 2-entity Planeswalker that costs 2 mana and has not had a reprint yet. I would not be surprised if this is in the set. We have Ancient Tomb, which saw a reprint in Ultimate Masters, but that was almost 2 years ago, and this card is a Commander staple. If anything, it's really shot up. I got my copy around Ultimate Masters time for about 18, and I think you could probably get copies for like 25 to 30, but it's definitely rising, and this is the kind of card that's always seeing play. And we got a few more to wrap up the tide here. At Uncommons, we'll probably have Signets. Now, it could be these come in Commander Legends at the end of the year. It would be a great way to help with fixing. And since the Talismans have never been printed as a full cycle, I can imagine the Signets being in that set. They are an entry point for Commander overall and could really help in that format. But I could also see them being here because 1 produced 2, and they cost 2 to cast even. Sylvan Library. This card could use a reprint. Last time was an Eternal Masters. Card is crazy expensive. I thought I was getting a good deal when I sold my foil for like $40 a while ago. I saw it creeping up and I said, they're gonna reprint it someday, right? Well, they haven't. Now, it could be in the Commander Green product, could be in Commander Legends. It could be here though, because we do have Pay 4 life, which is 2 times 2, and you draw 2 additional cards for 2 mana. There you go, lots of 2s going on there. And Skull Clamp is what I'll wrap on. I don't know if they would put this into a limited style product and not in a Commander product they have in the past, but despite seeing many prints in Commander sets, this card is still expensive for an uncommon and still incredible, and you draw 2 cards. So 1 cost, 1 to equip, that's 2, 1 plus 1 minus 1, well, it's technically 0, but 1 and 1, and then you have to draw 2 cards, so this card could easily fit into that theme. I know I just went through a ton of options. Most of these are expensive, but there are a few that I think would just hold the glue together of the set and really help it shine. At the end of the day, this is all speculation. Do not buy, sell, trade, do anything around these cards based on this and expect that you're going to get something out of it. I will admit that I have pulled a few of the cards on this list myself, knowing that there's a good likelihood they will be printed this year at some point, if not in Double Masters. But do you guys agree with my picks? Do you have any others that you think I missed? I'm sure they're out there. I'd love to hear down below in the comment section, and if you can, tap the like button and head down there, drop a comment, let me know what you think about Double Masters and where it's going. And as always, this is Mike from Roxbox90 signing out. I'll see you guys next time.